episode of Triple Threat Pro Wrestling Podcast. I am Lucky, joined by MVP and the third man, Alexis. How you boys doing? It's been a week since we talked. But yeah, no, for everyone watching, make sure you subscribe. I lost my train of thought there. I was like, oh, am I going to say that? Yeah. Make sure you subscribe, most importantly. Like, subscribe, comment, all the good stuff. Let us know what you think. So yeah, what do you boys want to talk about? No one ever knows what to say. I always say, I try to be cool, right? I try to be cool. Like, let me do a Cody Rhodes thing. No one wants to talk. All right, end of the podcast. No, I'm just kidding. So
no, we can talk about before we get into the whole wrestling deal. I went to Crusher Fest up here in Milwaukee.
Nice.
Festival that they have for the Milwaukee Crusher, old school wrestler up here. It was pretty dope. They have the food trucks and they have the brews and the band, but they actually had it's my first wrestling event that I went to where the wrestling ring was like under a tent, kind of like a circus tent kind of deal, and bought tickets for like $20 a ticket for second row, and it was pretty dope. It was really intimate. People were really, really close to each other. Like the wrestlers like barely had like room to make their entrances. That's how close it was under the tent. But it was really cool. Got to see a lot of different talent from Kenosha from Chicago. Even see some guys in Puerto Rico with some Bad Bunny entrance music coming out. So it was a good time. They had some meet and greets going on. We got to see Greg the Hammer Valentine, Cowboy Bob Orton, the New Rockers, Marty Jannetty, Leif Cassidy, and I think the biggest name was the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase. So it was good to see those guys and get a couple of autographs. Bought me Cody Rhodes Funko Walmart exclusive pop out there that they had out there that I've been looking for. So it was a good time, man. It was a good time for wrestling fans, and people had their belts out, had their wrestling shirts out. So it was a really good vibe.
I like it. So I guess the biggest miss on your part is the biggest name is the $1 Million Man, and you could have literally said, everyone's got a price. You could be on the Jim Mint 10 Pro Wrestling podcast. What's it going to cost? But no, that's dope. You saw Al Snow, right?
Yeah. He was under Leif Cassidy, the New Rockers. Yeah, he was in good shape too, man. Really, really good shape. I was like really surprised, like better shape than when he was with the Rockers in WWE. So
Did you ask him what everybody wants?
There was a couple of people that said, "Hey, where's Head?"
Uh-huh.
He didn't have the Head with him though. That would have been cool if he did.
Yeah.
What does everybody want?
That's good. So you did that. MVP, you're on the traveling independent circuit. You're not by me. You're in Arizona, aren't you?
I'm in Phoenix right now. Just on vacation.
There you go. Nice. Yeah. So what are your plans out there?
We're just visiting my girlfriend's family right now.
Nice.
Just relaxing, yeah.
Let her know that the Triple Threat Pro Wrestling Podcast says happy birthday.
I'll let her know.
So I know we talked last week about the recap. I think that's kind of boring to the viewers because they've already seen everything we've seen. So I thought it'd be better just go off a little hit list of like what we liked from the week and talk about those things instead. Okay. First, I'll start off. So my first note was Rollins opens Raw, splits his pants wide open. And then they did a good job explaining AJ on Raw, because if he was there to feud with him, I was going to be like, knock this off. But then he congratulates him. He still ends up wrestling on Raw. And I'm like, you better explain this away, because I said over and over again, I don't want to see the rules get broken of the draft. And here we are, SmackDown wrestler on Raw. But I felt they did a good job explaining it. So I'll turn it to you.
Well, I mean, if you smell it, it has Vincent Kennedy McMahon reeking all over it.
Yeah. It does. Very much so. What do you think?
I think they kind of always done that with the draft, though. I feel like at least they tried to explain it, though, which I appreciate. And I'm a huge AJ mark, so anytime I get to see AJ Styles on my screen, I'm happy with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really liked how they did they kind of do New Japan when a champion comes out, they have like the not the confetti, but what do you call that stuff that came down on Seth Rollins? The colored
The streamers.
the streamers. That was really really cool.
Yeah.
I think they're really trying to really make this championship relevant and give it some oomph, give it some push, because it's going to take some time for that new championship to feel as important as Roman's 2 belts.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
Roman
It's gonna.
one belt.
And
Well,
yeah,
we'll get there.
we'll get there. But yeah, yeah. Seth has a lot of ways to go to bring up the prestige of that title. But
Well,
I think he's the man for the job.
I was gonna say they got the right guy doing it. I mean, he's gonna, and the crowd is so into him. There's not gonna be any trouble there. Which I do like. One of the hit list things. I'm not gonna go in any order. I like the main event with Judgment Day. I think that maybe Finn Balor, like we talked about, might be the first guy in line here. But I did like how Rollins comes out of the ring and he like puts his arm around Rhea Ripley, very much like Shawn Michaels.
Shawn Michaels and Melina.
Yeah, Melina. Yeah. So I like that little tidbit, but
That was really cool. One thing before we jump to that, about Judgment Day coming out and talking with Rollins and having that first segment, I think it's really good that they're putting Judgment Day on the forefront and putting the spotlight on him. The one thing that kind of made me kind of like, I thought there was a little bit of a miss is that when she's talking and she makes some mention of like, oh, to Rollins, oh, you're just another champion with just another belt, and I just think that if they really want to push that title, they really got to be very careful on what they say, on what they say, just because that's not another belt, that's the World Heavyweight Championship, basically not an extension of the big gold, but that's what they're trying to aim out for. So I just think they just got to be a little careful on how they talk about that belt. So I thought that was just a little
especially when her 3 teammates are trying to go after that championship as well.
I would not mind seeing any of the 3 challenge for the title, to be honest. Dominic Mysterio, can you imagine the hate on him if he's feuding with Rollins for the World Heavyweight Championship? The building would be deafening. You would not be able to hear anything.
Yeah, for sure.
But no, I think that it's the biggest name in Judgment Day is Finn Balor, so it's going to be Finn if anyone challenges. But no, I don't know. I'm excited to see where it goes. It's a good building block to doing stuff with that title. So we'll see as the weeks progress. Let's see. For me, a hit, something that I said might happen a couple weeks ago, and now it looks like we're heading that way. Zayn and Owens maybe feuding with Imperium. That's a good. I like that. I don't know if I would put the titles on Imperium right away. Maybe have them chase Zayn and Owens a little bit, but I would not mind seeing Imperium take those titles eventually.
Oh no, not at all. They're a very worthy tag team, and when their time comes, I think they can run with the titles, no doubt.
Yeah, have Imperium have the Intercontinental belt and the tag titles. That'd be nice. Yeah, that'd be cool. So, what about you, Alexis?
I really like Imperium. I really like Ludwig Kaiser. I just think he's the charisma of those two between the bald guy, as they were saying, bald guy.
The bald guy.
that made me pop. I was chuckling quite a bit when they were talking about the bald guy, Giovanni Vinci. But those guys are really good. They got really good chemistry. I really like that move. It's more like an electric chair. What's the move that Legion of Doom used to do?
The Doomsday Device.
The tag move.
The Doomsday Device.
The Doomsday Device. Yeah. So he's had him up with the Doomsday Device, but he kind of does a European uppercut and turns it into a power bomb. I was like, whoa, that was a real cool looking move there.
I think they
It's
call
just
it
the
the
guys.
Imperium Bomb.
Yeah, the Imperium bomb. I really like that. I really like that move, and I think they have what it takes, man. I think they got the mouthpiece and Kaiser. I think Vinci is a little bit more of like your powerhouse,
Mm-hmm.
kind of your silent assassin. And I agree with you, Lucky. If they get, they can put those belts on them with the intercontinental title. They kind of get like a mini bloodline thing kind of going. You know, really makes them to the audience like they're legit. Look at how much gold they have. So
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with that.
Well, here's the thing that I also think works for them is Gunther and Ludwig. They've been like together as like teenagers, so
oh, okay.
they got a lot of history. So and then you bring in somebody that can be like minded, like Giovanni Vinci, and it does seem they do spend a lot of time out of together. So
Yeah, they got that rapport together.
I
So
think it was
yes,
Ludwig that really got Gunther into working out and
that
getting
yeah.
fit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because Walter he was looking pretty thick. You know,
He's a
he was
big boy.
thick. And I think 2 years later, 3 years later, it looks like a different dude. I think
Yep.
completely different
kudos
guy.
to Ludwig and Giovanni to push him to get to looking like that because he legit looks like a star. You know, and he's just got money
Gunther
written all
lost
over him.
Walter.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. The Gunther is it's grown on me. I was really pissed off when they took Walter away from him. They seem to do that a lot, like Raquel Gonzalez. Now she's Raquel
Yeah.
Rodriguez, and Io Sky is not was Io Shirai. They tend to do that a lot, but it's worked with Gunther. I like it a
Yeah.
lot.
yeah, I like the name too. It makes it a little bit more intimidating than Walter to me, but you know, maybe that's why they did it.
And they kept it
Another,
consistent, being another old school European name. So
Hmm.
yeah. The other thing I wrote here, I don't know if you guys are going to agree. Cody had that promo against Brock Lesnar, challenging him to the rubber match, right? That's obviously coming. But his promos about Brock are getting very repetitive. He's saying a lot of the same things every week. Where I'm like, okay, like I get it. Like you're gonna, I don't want to talk about his accomplishments again, but you're gonna say them
well,
again. You know, like
what else can you
I
say
get it.
though?
Then I mean, it's just repetitive.
He,
As a viewer,
he's knocking him out of the park with what he has.
that's why I think there needs to be a little bit more story development. Maybe this week would have been a
Yeah.
good time to give us a reason why Brock did it to begin with, or
Mm-hmm.
give us something more than, all right, Cody,
My face.
Brock can't be here
My
this week. Go
face.
talk about his accomplishments again. Trying to make the promo work, you know. I guess when does that rubber match happen? Money in the Bank, SummerSlam.
Money in a Bank.
You think so?
You're not going to drag this on until SummerSlam.
No, but you're still gonna have a broken arm at Money in the Bank.
I, me personally, I kind of agree with you, Lucky, as far as like promos. I wouldn't mind not seeing Cody Rhodes for a week.
Yeah,
You
you
know,
can wait a week.
I could go out with just not seeing him because you want to keep him as like an attraction. You know, you can't make someone an attraction if you're seeing them every single week, kind of doing the same thing. I mean, I get it. He's probably their top merch seller. I don't have any numbers or anything, but he's probably one of their top, if not their top merch seller now. You want to keep him on TV and everything like that. Um, but like if it was me, I would have waited. I would have waited some time, waited a week for him to. Hey, he almost got his arm broken out of that titanium cast or whatever. Give him a week. Hey, he needs a week off. He can't make it to the show.
Yeah, me as a viewer would have appreciated that too. Like, okay, it even sells the injury even more.
Mm-hmm,
Like, okay, Cody can't be there Monday; he's still
mm-hmm.
recuperating. Like for me, it just feel like, oh, just throw it back in the sling and get out there. And like, if you don't have much to say, you don't have to be there every week. I mean, Roman Reigns, their story is so top notch. He's not there every week. Every few weeks he's there, and they still make it must see TV. So I think you're right. They could have waited a week, maybe even 2 weeks, and then say, have him come out the week before Money in the Bank and say, I'm tired of this final match this Sunday. You be there and finish this. And then Brock just shows up in Money in the Bank. You could have done that. It'd have been fine. But I just wrote that. I was like, that bothered me. I'm like, oh, nothing new in this promo. It's like, you want to fight again. Got it. Okay.
Or a vignette. You can do a vignette too. Do a vignette at his house. They used to do that.
Yeah.
Something like that. Hey, I'm recovering. You really took a lot out of me. This and that. And I know I didn't, and basically cut that promo and just not in the ring. Not in the ring by himself. It was, I agree with MVP. Good promo. The delivery is great. His facials are good, but let's give us some time to miss him a little bit.
Yeah, I definitely am not arguing the quality of the promo. Always top-notch promo with him. But if I'm hearing the same thing for the third week, it's like I'm not excited by it. Like, you did a great job giving it to me. I don't want it. Give me something new, something different, right? So, and then the last thing I have for Raw, there was a little hint of Riddle versus Gunther, if you saw that little interaction. So maybe Riddle wins on Money in the Bank. My fear is I don't want to see for the second year in a row Money in the Bank be used for a secondary title. I think you have 2 world titles, the undisputed title and the world heavyweight title. You need to use that for that again. But overall, it's still cool. I would not mind seeing Riddle versus Gunther, but I was like, oh, here we go again, cashing in on the Intercontinental belt, but what do you guys think?
Yeah, I totally agree with you. If they do go the route of Riddle winning this thing, which I don't think is going to happen, but
Me neither.
Yeah, it does need to be cashed in on a world heavyweight champion. But this feud starting with Riddle and Gunther is they're both legit guys. I mean, Riddle, legit MMA fighter. Gunther, he look like if you find someone like him on the street, you're not messing with him.
Right.
Now remind me, guys, what was it? The United States title that they cashed it in last year, or was it the
Austin Theory
U.S. title?
Yeah.
No, but he won, right? Did he win it?
No, he lost.
He lost.
Oh, okay.
And then he won it like the real way, of like in a match. Yeah. He won it.
No, but the thing with Riddle holding the briefcase, it was kind of an anchor for him. Like, he really didn't need it to get where he is now. I think if you're going to give the case to somebody, you got to elevate him.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I think the only thing with cashing in on the Intercontinental title, which I think probably didn't do, or probably actually did a little bit with the United States title, is that it elevated that title a little bit. If you're using the case on it, that means that it's wanted. It's wanted by the superstars, and Ronda's just got his title, so I don't see him losing it soon. And I don't know if you really want to use the Money in the Bank on Roman. I mean, you can, but
they're gonna lose.
They had the good explanation last year. Theory, the whole purpose of him cashing in on the U.S. title, he said, I'm not going to bother with Roman because the Usos and Murder's going to get involved and make me not win it. It was good. This year, we'll get to it on SmackDown, but you're not going to have that threat, as far as all this bloodline coming after you. And you have Seth Rollins' title now. So I think it would be perfect to use the Money in the Bank for that title now to elevate it a little more, because you need some prestige to it to build it moving forward. So, not prediction, what I would want to see, I would not mind seeing Shinsuke Nakamura win it and going after Seth Rollins. I would not mind that.
Oh, mine would be,
LA Knight, yeah.
He needs something to just jumpstart him, and we'll get to him on SmackDown.
Yeah, you know what? I did forget that he was in the MITB qualifier on SmackDown. Yeah, give it to LA Knight. I like LA Knight. Let me talk to you. All right. That's all I had for Raw. You guys had anything for Raw?
What you got, MVP?
Nothing much. In this year,
Oh, the big Indian dudes.
yeah. Another squash match. Looks like building up another team. So maybe KO and Sami Zayn, they have somebody else to work with.
It's nice that you have all these tag teams that are in the mix that are like
exactly.
Good. The tag team division is not like a bunch of thrown together wrestlers anymore. I mean, I guess Zayn and Owens kind of are, but you see what I'm saying? Like it's more like legit tag team together, Imperium or these guys, and what was the other one? Alpha Academy.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
That was hilarious, dude.
Say the thing.
That was hilarious. Oh, because I couldn't even figure out what he wanted him to say. And then when he said it, oh man, I think I was drinking something, dude. I almost spit it out. I was like, man, that is hilarious. And the thing about the tag teams too is that people think that they need to. A lot of people talk. They say, hey, they want to win the championship, but you really don't need to win the title to like elevate these tag teams. You just got to put them in good feuds and have them face Sammy and KO, and they don't have to win. They can just put up a great match, and that can elevate them too. Just getting them that exposure. Speaking of the tag teams, the women's tag team, Fatal 4. I was expecting a little bit more. I thought it started off hot, and it was pretty good. I would have liked to see maybe. I didn't think Shotzi was a great tag partner for Raquel personally. I thought that they're maybe going to throw Zelina in there, with kind of the whole LWO kind of the Latino World Order type deal. But what do you guys think about Shayna and Ronda winning it? What do you think?
I mean, I'm gonna go on this one. They're the baddest team on the planet, and they're threats. If you look at what they accomplished outside of WWE, I think Ronda lost a lot of steam in WWE. I don't think that it used to be she was an attraction. Now it's like, oh, she's there. Okay,
she's the new bathroom break.
Yeah, I am more curious as to why her promo. She said, "What was the exact words?" She said something about, we're the tag titles, and if you don't like it, something about these nuts. And I'm like, what? What did she say? I'm confused. Whatever. That's why it's not on my list. It was there, but Ronda,
any heat she gets is go away heat for sure.
Oh yeah, she's not Dom.
No,
she's not Dom Mysterio. But yeah, so that's all I had on Raw. You guys are good there.
Yeah, it's all good there.
Yeah, JD McDonough.
He beat Dolph Ziggler, right?
No, beat him down. Double count out though.
Oh yeah. There's a certain person.
They're trying to build him.
It'll
Yeah,
take some time.
There's a website that reviews. I won't mention their name for copyright stuff, but MVP knows what I'm talking about, and they review everything, every event, everything. And one of my favorite things they wrote in their recap is they hate Dolph Ziggler's entrance music. They think it's the shittiest thing they ever heard.
I'm here to show the world.
Yeah. Jay McDonough kicked him in the head, and he goes, I hope he kicked him so hard he forgets that he has that music and he changes it. On SmackDown, you'll never guess what I wrote for the number one thing. I wrote, and this has been happening on quite a few events now, that it just, an observation on my part, Alexis is going to start needing to translate the Spanish promos for us on this podcast.
Oh,
at least give us a subtitle or something. I have no idea what's going on. And I know some Spanish. I don't know that much. To be, oh yeah, he said this and this and this. Okay.
You talk about the LWO?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damian Priest did it with Bad Bunny, and I'm cool with the, bringing different cultural stuff to that some exposure, but I need to know what you're saying, dude. I have no idea.
Yeah, they was just saying, can you see it? Lo puedo ver means, oh, I can see it. Can you see it? Yeah, so that's basically what they were talking about. But speaking of like the language barrier, we're gonna need some Japanese
Uh,
subtitles too. We thought the LWO with the Spanish was bad, and that Japanese was like with Io Sai and and Asuka.
well,
No,
luckily,
but
me and Matt's one of our favorite video games is in Japanese. We know some Japanese.
Was it Shenmue?
yeah,
God.
that's where Lucky gets his name.
Yeah. So what were you gonna
But
say, Matt? I cut you off.
no, the Japanese is that interaction's actually pretty entertaining.
No, it is.
Yeah,
It is. It
uh,
is for sure, and you can tell they're like really into it, and they're like really aggressive. And if
but
that's
yeah,
the way that
I
they
do
want,
agree with you with subtitles.
yeah,
That way I'm
because
like,
you know what they're gonna say
right?
roughly. Some
Yeah.
subtitles would have been nice, but
Yeah.
if this is leading to Io Sky and Asuka, I'm all for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm all for that for sure. Io is like low key one of my favorite superstars, and
Hmm.
has been for a while. Like even in her NXT run as NXT champ,
Yeah.
yeah, she's one of my favorites. I went to War Games when it was in. It was a 2019. I went to Survivor Series and I went to War Games in
Oh yeah. Okay.
'94.
Yeah.
When she did the moonsault off the top of the War Games cage,
Mhm.
I was like, man, that's my girl there. Like she is fearless.
Yeah.
And ever since then, I've just been like a real big fan of hers. And then, she won the NXT title a little bit after that. So,
Well, she beat
um,
Rhea and Charlotte Flair to win it.
yeah, in your house, yeah, jumping off
Yeah.
the top of the in your house
Yeah.
um, stage. Yeah, she's just really, really, really good. And with like Selena Vega, like it really, like I'm like, man, she's really small. It's kind of hard for me to see she's really believable. But Io Sky really isn't that much bigger. But I just think the way that she carries herself, the way
Yeah.
she delivers the moves, she's really believable to me, and one of my favorites for sure.
I'll let you guys keep going if you want, because the only other hit I have from SmackDown is the end, and I'm overly excited to talk about it. So if you guys have anything else, bring it up first.
Well, okay, so it's looking towards Io Sky versus Asuka for the championship. Maybe
Mm.
she wins the briefcase. Um, I I see Bailey getting in the way, and then it becomes the implosion of Damage Control.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
think Dakota Kai is injured too, so
Yeah.
that kind of took some wind out of their sails.
Mhm.
Bailey, man, I really like Bailey too. I love her as a heel. Um, I mean, I think the thing about it is that I think Asuka's a heel right now. So
Yeah.
the way that they can probably do that is if they have Bailey turn on Io,
Mhm.
give her some sympathy, turn her into the face, and that'll be a little bit more of a like a standard type match, heel versus babyface, because Damage Control are heels.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't mind a Bailey Io Sky feud too.
Yeah.
Those two will put out some bangers too.
Mhm.
I think we just really need to see some more of that stuff. I like the tag team stuff with the women, um, but just give us some feuds. Like every feud doesn't have to be for a title.
Right.
It could just be a good storyline. And I
Yeah.
think Io and Bailey, that'd just be an awesome storyline.
No, I agree. I think so too. I guess one other thing I'll bring up, we just talked about it, LA Knight with the Money in the Bank, so I
Yeah.
don't know. That would be a good fit actually, because he needs something. Like you said earlier,
Yes.
I want him to have a. Can you imagine him as a mouthpiece with that briefcase? Oh. Well, let me tell you something.
And he's still working heel, and he did heel tactics to beat Montez Ford.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know about you guys, but when I seen that he was facing Montez Ford, I was just
Oh
like,
yeah, I'm like,
are
man,
they really gonna is he gonna job to Ford? Because Ford's pretty popular. He's a
yeah,
high flyer. He's one of those guys you want in those ladder matches. So I'm like, oh,
exactly.
that
he'll
was
probably
good.
get in those second chance qualifiers.
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah,
ooh, who's gonna win this one? Because I know they want to push LA Knight. Like even the crowd, when they say LA Knight, even the crowd's going, yeah.
Yeah.
So the crowd's getting behind him for sure. I thought that match with him and LA Knight was really, really good. And the way that he made the pin there, so slick with the roll up, holding the rope and then jumping out right away, dude. That was so slick. I was like, man, there's no way the referee would have caught that one. No way.
Yeah, I like that.
And then in the women's side, you had Zelina Vega beating Lacey Evans, which I don't know what they're doing with Lacey Evans. They spent so much time, so much. I'm assuming they spent so much money on her vignettes, and they've yet to do anything with her. When she was one of the ones to come up to the main roster, when what was that? Maybe 2018 when they had all those guys coming up from NXT. She was like the only woman and slated to do big things, and then she had that little interaction with Charlotte Flair at the Rumble. You're not doing anything. I don't know what they're doing with her. I think she's someone else that needs another jump start.
I agree.
Well, you're right, because that's weird. Because when they were doing the vignettes, it sounded like she was going to come back like as a face, right? Doing all the push-ups and all the workouts, and I've done this and I've done that. So I thought they were going to come back, with the old red, white, and blue typical type face deal. And then they brought it back with like this Sergeant Slaughter type gimmick, which I really like.
Yeah.
But I mean, you can't have her losing to Zelina Vega though, and I get it. Zelina Vega, she's hot right now. LWO is hot. She's a fellow PR Puerto Rican like me. Don't get me wrong, I cheer for her, but I agree with you. If you want to do something with Lacey Evans, you got to give her some dubs.
Yeah.
And who knows? She might get into that qualifier, like you said, Lucky. That last minute qualifier. Who knows? They might do a triple threat fatal four with 4 people. Who knows? She might get in it. But I like it a lot.
I hate. This is way off my path here, but I hate second qualifier matches because I hate that you rely on so many of the same people. That if both people, for example, LA Knight is going to Money in the Bank. If Montez Ford is also going to Money in the Bank, use these matches to develop someone else. Have Montez Ford beat someone else, and then forget about these second chance qualifiers. Have 8 matches with 8 winners, and they go to Money in the Bank. Utilize other talent you have, even if you bring someone from NXT for a one-off. To say, you know what, I want to be in a Money in the Bank qualifier, and if they lose, they go back to NXT. But it is what it is. Like I want to see them feature more wrestlers in this stuff. Like I like tournament stuff like that, like a King of the Ring. We need to bring that back, and stuff like that. I love those kind of things. So that's where I'm at on that. I hate these second qualifier matches. Like if both people are going to be in it in anyway, just have them both win individual matches to get there.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah.
Before we continue, whatever happened with them? I thought King of the Ring was supposed to be Saudi, and then they changed it to Night of Champions, right? Or am I dreaming that?
No,
King of the Ring is coming back.
I think they're gonna go back to Saudi and have a King and Queen of the Ring.
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken, I gotta look that up again. But they are going back to Saudi one more time before the end of the year.
Okay. Yeah, because I agree. King of the Ring was one of my favorites growing up. Kind of watching them have multiple matches in the same night. That was also cool.
That's what I'm getting at.
That was also cool.
Like, what was that pay-per-view? It was The Rock. It was not Fully Loaded. It was I forgot, but he had to win like 2 matches to challenge for the WWE title at the end of the match, or the end of the pay-per-view. What was it called? Deadly Games or something?
Something like that. It might have been Deadly Games.
What I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I like that stuff, and we don't do that nearly enough. And now I'm going to get nitpicky. For the love of God, whoever wins King of the Ring next, can they not be King whoever for 2 years? Can we please? Owen Hart won it, right? And he just had the trophy and was Owen Hart. Like, King of the Ring, Owen Hart, not King Hart.
No, didn't King of the Ring also mean thing? Like, you won it and then you get a title shot or something?
Yeah, I think it was like I think it was SummerSlam title shot, because I think King of the Ring was like in June or July, if I'm not mistaken. And then they would get a title shot. I believe it was SummerSlam, if I'm not mistaken, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, it wasn't WrestleMania or anything, but it was. You definitely got a title shot.
Right, you definitely get a title shot. For
and
sure.
you had the bragging rights that you won the tournament. That I'm the best of the best. Only the best people won that, like Bret Hart or Owen Hart or Austin. Like it took work to get there. It wasn't just this throwaway thing that
it meant something for sure.
Yeah. No, me and you are in line with that for sure. So, are we ready for the main event segment of SmackDown or no?
I think so. Well, what about you? Got MVP?
Pretty deadly. I'm
liking.
Liking their slow build up and then their heel tactics. I forget who's who. They're just them, but one of them hiding under the ring apron, pretending to be the other. That's genius.
Yeah, this is actually the first time. Not the first time, but I've actually sat down and watched them. Mm-hmm. Those guys are legit, man. They're legit. They're gonna get heat. They're already getting heat. They look good. Mm-hmm. Their outfits are different. Showing covering part of the chest and leaving the stomach open. That's different. These guys are just different, and I think they were in it was a 6-man tag, if I'm not mistaken, on SmackDown, right?
With Austin Theory versus the Brawling Brutes.
Yeah, that was a good match. That was a good, and you know what? That was a long match too. I think I have that in my notes. It was I think two commercial breaks was that when I was like, wow, this match is still going on. But that was hard hitting, man. That was a hard hitting match. I really liked the 10 beats to the Bowery on all three of them. How they're doing it all three of them at the same time. Pretty deadly, man. Definitely going to be some guys that are going to be around for a while.
One thing I could do without though is their theme music.
Didn't they get new theme music?
Yeah, it's not it. Oh. it's not it. I'm trying and I'm looking at their entrance. I'm just like, yeah, no.
Yeah.
their previous music's fine. And then I don't know if you saw Ridge Holland in NXT. They built him as a monster, and they bring it up to the main roster to be, I don't know, Sheamus's hench, and
yeah.
I don't like what they're doing with Ridge Holland. He's got a lot more to offer than what they're giving him.
Yeah, I think they're probably just thinking they're getting a little bit of a rub from Sheamus, I think. Even if they thought maybe getting a little rub from him, but I don't know. That is the one name thing that I really don't like. Speaking of them is Butch, changing his name to Butch.
Yeah. Just give him his name back.
Just give him his name back, dude. Give him his name back. Give him the UK title to put in his mouth. You know what I mean? He was just a monster.
Yeah.
I mean, he's great as Butch, but yeah. I haven't heard his name in so long. What was his name? Pete Dunne. Damn right, dude. Damn right. What was his nickname? What was the nickname?
The Bruiserweight.
The Bruiserweight. Come on, man. That's awesome.
Butch.
To Butch. The Bruiserweight. Pete Dunne to Butch. That was definitely Vincent K. Even though I like some of the stuff Vincent K's been doing, Pete Dunne to Butch, didn't like it at all.
The other thing I guess I'll bring up too is I do not like Austin Theory. I think I've said this a couple times.
Yeah,
I don't like Austin Theory. So
disagree.
I need Sheamus. I need
Disagree.
Sheamus to win the title from him, and he needs to not be on my TV that much. I don't like Austin Theory. I don't know what it is. He's good at what he does. He's one of those characters I just don't like him. Not a fan.
Well, that's why he's so good, Lucky, because you don't like him. That's why he's
in a heat wave. It's just oh god, here we go.
I'd like him more without all this A-Town Down stuff. I know I've said that before.
Yeah.
I don't know. I really like Austin Theory. Guy can cut it on the mic. I mean, he had that promo, and he's not afraid. The bright lights don't scare him. Looks like $1 million. I think he's looking better every single day. I just think he has a long reign too, 200 some odd days with that U.S. title, and I think he's making that title like Bobby Lashley, how he had it, and he was elevating it. Austin Theory is elevating it too. I really like dude, and I didn't like him at first. I was like, who the heck is this guy? But it's like, man, he's legit, man. He's legit. So
he came in as
we'll disagree on that. Maybe you'll come on board eventually, Lucky.
I guess the reason why, before we get to my favorite part of the show, I guess why he came in as like Vince's golden child, right?
Yeah.
But the same thing happened with Drew McIntyre. He was the chosen one. And I didn't like him then. I'm like, Drew McIntyre, don't care. But then when Drew McIntyre went and elevated himself to where he is now, Drew McIntyre is a beast. I love Drew McIntyre. So maybe Austin Theory just needs to go figure out a different version of his character for me to like him, I guess. That's just me.
And Drew McIntyre, is he gone?
No.
No?
Well, he hasn't been there, has he?
No.
A couple weeks.
Rumor has it he's done.
Well, they misused him.
Yeah.
No, I mean, he was a champion. I mean, he was the champ. It just happened to be
He's the pandemic champion.
Champ during the...
That's like the Lakers winning the title, and it's got an asterisk next to it. The bubble title.
The bubble title.
The Thunderdome, or the Superdome title. Like, what was it? The Thunderdome? What was it called?
Thunderdome.
It was Thunderdome.
Yeah.
The Thunderdome.
Yeah.
Just bad timing. Unlucky for him. The story was good. The build-up to beat Brock was good. The match was good. Just unlucky there. And I love Drew, but Drew can't hold the candle to Austin Theory on the stick on that mic though. Drew can cut a decent promo, but
and I think what hurt him too is what hurts in wrestling. Unlike other sports, like basketball's not a entertainment show, like it's not scripted, right, or anything. But not having the crowd erupt when you beat Brock Lesnar, you just see a bunch of monitors people like. Right,
and piped in crowd music.
Yeah, it's just like, that hurts, and I think Drew would have had a way better run if the crowd was there making that noise, but neither here nor there. It is what it is. So, okay, main event time of SmackDown.
Okay, let's do it.
So Roman comes out, right? Triple H brings him out, unveils the new title. First of all, that title looks nice. It's way more diamondy, like looks way like this is what a 1,000-day reigning champ should have, right? So that was nice. It's interesting that Triple H didn't take the other two belts back. So I don't know if they're just going to have Heyman keep carrying those two belts while Roman wears the one. I don't know. Or if Roman just gets to take it home and put it on his mantelpiece when he gets home. I don't know if that was the reasoning, but you have him come out with Solo. Obviously, we all knew the Usos were going to show up. Yeah. They were going to be there. So they come out. There was a lot of back and forth where, Roman's just putting him down, but you kind of buy into that when he's like, let's do it together. And Solo says, I acknowledge the tribal chief, but they're my brothers. And he stands next to him. So then Roman hugs Jimmy, like crying, emotional, and he says no. And Solo does that Samoan spike to Jimmy. You cannot write that any better. I was like, dude, this was
here it's a rehash to 2020 when Jay and Roman were in Hell in the Cell. They did the exact same thing then. Oh, I don't know what I'm doing. It's your family. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. And then he chokes him out.
Well, and the purpose of that was that he let him know, like, I feel, and legit, the character was, I do feel bad for what I'm doing to you, but I'm the tribal chief and I have to do that. That's his mindset. So the same thing here, like, yeah, maybe I treated you guys unfair and you guys all hate me, but I'm the tribal chief. It's what I have to do. That's how it feels like, is that, he has to do it. But the very interesting part about it is when he walks away, they say, what about Jey Uso? And he says,
he's going to
he'll fall in line. I'm like, that's an interesting development because what is Jey Uso going to do? Rumor is Rikishi might come back in a week or two to kind of put a little, like a one-off appearance. Maybe Roman spears him or something that sets the Usos off. I don't know. But, I mean, it's the bloodline. It would make sense for Rikishi to show up and be like, what are you doing to my boys, So I wouldn't mind it. I thought it was a great segment. I love everything the
Yeah.
Bloodline does. I'm a Bloodline mark. Anything they do, I'm all about it. But I'll let you guys talk. Yeah. I'll let you guys give me your opinions on it.
No, I totally agree. They're still continuing to print money with this stuff, and I'm in. I'm about in.
Alexis.
100%. I agree with you on that title. I think the gold makes it pop. It makes it pop really,
It's
really
a beautiful
nice.
title.
Yep.
It's really, really nice. I noticed that it says undisputed champion on it.
Yeah.
Some little confused. I was a little confused though, like you said, Lucky. Paul still has both of those other belts, so but it's probably just going to be that one belt, which is nice now. There's a lot of speculation on if Cody comes and beats him, is he going to beat him for one? Is he going to beat him for both? So I think now, okay, there's 2 titles now, one on each show.
Yeah.
There's no going back and forth, so I really like that. I think it's really interesting. I think Jey Uso is probably the most interesting character of this all, just because you can see that he is like really torn on what he
Oh,
wants to do.
dude, his facial expressions totally show conflict for
Yeah,
sure.
you know,
For
he
sure.
is like, this is my brother. I got to ride with him, but this is my cousin who's also grew up as my brother,
Yeah.
and then there's my other real brother that's standing next to the tribal chief. What the hell do I do? You know, and I just can't wait till next Friday to see what's going to happen next.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I really don't. I know it's. I hate to say that I'm speechless about something, but it's like I was still kind of like taking that all in. You know, because I can feel that. You know, like okay, who am I going to side with here?
They released Roman's schedule, so he's there every other week, and he's there Money in the Bank and SummerSlam. So he'll be
Okay,
around a lot. So that leads to tell me there's going to be a big bloodline storyline. And I think if it's me, you probably go Roman and Solo versus the Usos at Money in the Bank. That would be the safer. But the thing is, how do you get there with Jey Uso? Because again, he's very conflicted and don't know what he wants to do. And it is interesting. It all started with Jey Uso too.
mm-hmm.
So to
Yeah.
end the whole bloodline with a very conflicted Jey Uso is a nice touch too. That it kind of started with him, and now the bloodline could end with Jey Uso. Like I told you, I would like Jey Uso to challenge for that title, and you make main event Jey Uso out of it. You got to make someone with that title. You can't just have Sheamus beat Roman Reigns or Randy Orton come back to beat Roman Reigns. Someone's got to get built for that title. That's
Well,
a
then
beautiful title.
what
You don't
happens
get
with
that
Jimmy?
title. He'll be there.
He'll be there.
Yeah, he'll be there. What happened with Harlem Heat? Booker T and Steve Ray still stayed cool, even though Booker T won the WCW Heavyweight Championship. They're
Yeah,
still in each other's
and
corner.
then Stevie Ray joined NWO.
Okay, well, things got complicated in WCW, but you see my point is like you could still have the Usos. Jimmy accompanies Jey Uso out to the ring for his matches. Come on, it'd be nice. It'd be fine. Especially if Solo leaves the bloodline by then. Then you got Solo the Enforcer with you. Main event Jey Uso as a champion. Then you got Jimmy and Solo in your corner. That's not bad. I like it.
Or what if Jay turns on Jimmy during that match?
That's interesting. I don't think they do that though. You're the Usos. What are you gonna have 2 different Usos doing 2 different things?
That's what I was going to say. It's hard to see the Usos not as a tag team, and each one of them probably hold up on their own as a single. Oh yeah, for sure.
For sure. Yeah.
I'm more confident in Jay than Jimmy.
You know, I was actually really surprised at Jimmy because Jay was doing a lot of the talking during that kind of story, but Jimmy can talk on that mic. Jimmy can talk on that mic. He's not afraid of the spotlight.
Did you guys think that it got rushed a little bit with Jimmy? Because like you just got off the Sami Zayn train of like turning on the bloodline, and then Reigns loses, that whole thing. But like, I felt like now this Jimmy Uso, like he was very much against Sami Zayn. You disrespected the tribal chief, and then it felt like a week later, oh, I'm the tribal chief. Like, wait, like you could have waited about a month for this, but
I do feel like Jimmy felt like came out of nowhere for sure.
Because if you have those side thoughts, why would you be so mad at Sami Zayn?
Yeah. I mean,
You know.
you would always think it would have been Jay to do it, but then now Jay is silent.
How many weeks has it been that Jimmy was like in the corner, right? He was like in the corner, not like acknowledging Reigns or what have you. So it did happen quick, but I just think that, just like he said at Night of Champions, I'm doing what you should have did a long time ago. So he's been feeling like this for a long time, but
Right.
he just fell in line and he just couldn't take it anymore. So.
I love when the bloodline is like talking during a match and you can hear it on the camera when he says, "I'm doing what you should have done a long time ago. I'm your brother. I got you." And then he super kicks him again. I'm like, oh God, you cannot write anything better than that.
It's awesome.
And everybody thinks that we know where this storyline is going, and the great thing about it is that nobody knows.
Yeah, there's so many variables,
and that's what's great about it.
Yeah, so
and I'm just gonna keep tuning in every Friday.
Yep.
There was a rumor I heard. I don't know if I read it or heard it. It is a rumor, but they say they might have Roman try to break Hulk Hogan's 4-year record. Have him keep going with the title. I don't know how I feel about that, but
no,
give it to him. He's earned it. I think he's earned it. I think best storyline in wrestling going on 2 years plus now, because it really wasn't the bloodline for till about a year into it. Why not? Why not give it to him? If they can keep a storyline going, and if they can give him some legitimate, competitors, and he can start winning clean again,
like when he started.
Yes, yeah. Right. Like when he started, if we can start getting that again, I don't see why you can't take that over to next WrestleMania again.
I agree with you. If you give him those clean wins, he was a monster when he came back.
Yep.
All he had was Paul Heyman in his corner, and he just did what he said he was going to do. Every pay-per-view. You bring that again, keep him out for 5 years. I don't care. If you can keep it this entertaining, I'm all for it. I'm a Roman mark right now.
What number is Hogan at right now?
I don't know the number. It was like 4 years.
I think Morales is 1,200 some odd days or something like that.
Yeah,
he's gonna break that for sure.
Yeah, they're gonna have him break Morales for sure.
He's gonna break Morales for sure, and I think after Hogan, that he'd have to go. I think a little bit past next year's WrestleMania to beat Hogan's, and that'll put him at the third longest reign behind Backlund and Sammartino.
See, I would only do that if you're gonna have Roman Reigns against The Rock at Mania.
Yes, that is where you solidify that. Because like now, if you bring Rikishi back to defend his kids for the bloodline, all that, and you have these original like people in the family of the bloodline come back and try to help Roman around October, you say, you know what, we're gonna bring back someone who should have put you in line a long time ago, and you bring back The Rock. And I always said the best storyline, it writes itself. All The Rock has to do is come out and cut his usual promos and say, you call yourself the head of the table, you're the tribal chief. I built that table here in WWE when I face Austin and all these people and Triple H. I built the table you're the head of. So then you have him face him for the title, you have Roman beat him clean, and then that established you could keep it on for a whole other year. That's fine.
Here's the thing, though. I'm not sure if you're gonna have Cody finish his story. I don't see it going past next year's WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna have him trying to finish the story for 2 years.
What is Cody's story? To come back and be the World Heavyweight Champion? So his story doesn't necessarily have to finish with Roman Reigns. His story needs to finish with him being a top champion in WWE.
Yeah,
right?
You're right, but I think that's Roman Reigns, though.
Roman Reigns could have been another bump in his hard. What is it? The
hard times.
Hard times.
Maybe the story was never about Roman Reigns. It was about what Roman Reigns had.
Yeah, but then you go back to, he's going to have the secondary title.
Well, if you can build enough prestige to it by then, it wouldn't feel secondary.
It will, so long Roman still has the streak, and if you beat him with that streak, you're you're the man.
For sure. But how are you going to get him over to SmackDown? That's the
He's
real
got to
trick.
win Money in the Bank.
That's the
Not,
real
not,
trick.
not
But he can't,
necessarily.
he's going to face Brock Lesnar at Money in the Bank with a titanium cast.
Or you know what? You know what I personally think? He can pull an Austin and win back-to-back Royal Rumbles. Is what I think can happen.
The thing about I don't want it to feel predictable. And if this guy comes out at like number 28, I'm like, oh, here we go.
Yeah, but what if he comes out number 2?
Then
You know what I mean? What if he pulls a What if he pulls a Gunther and then wins it? You know what I mean?
no, I got you.
That'd be totally different than him coming out at 30 and winning it. You know, and it made people feel like he's really earned it too this time. You know.
Yeah. Or I can see him getting himself traded to SmackDown.
Mm-hmm. Yep, you can do that too. I've always thought that they should do that more. Like, you know, since real sports do getting traded, I think they should do a little bit more of that. For sure.
But then you got to have general managers in play, and then you run the risk of having heel authority figures.
Well, you already have the general manager for Raw. What's his name?
Adam Pearce. But
Yeah, you already got somebody there.
He's kind of been the GM for both shows, really. He's kind of like an all-time GM, kind of. That's what it feels like.
Yeah.
Is he going to make trades with himself?
I mean, I like the GM. I like when Teddy Long and shit was the GM and Eric Bischoff. I like that. I did personally. I don't know about you guys.
Oh, no, dude. I love Teddy Long. It's actually funny. I'm in the WWE 2K23 group on Facebook, and someone posted in there, they're like, how do I leave this group? I hate this group. I just want to leave the group. And the first comment said, if you want to leave the group, you got to beat Undertaker, play in the main event.
You got to go 1-on-1 with the
Undertaker.
Yeah, so.
And if you don't want to face the Undertaker, we're gonna put you
in a tag team.
in a triple threat tag team match.
Yeah. So, all right, pay-per-view game.
Pay-per-view game.
Let's do it.
Okay. So I'm gonna give you the event, and then you just tell me what you think. It's a little bit older than how it.
Give us the matches, not the event, right?
Right.
You gotta tell you the event.
All right. Here we go.
Farouk, Ken Shamrock, and Steve Blackman defeat The Nation, Rock, Mark Henry, and D'Lo Brown. You have the European title match. Triple H defeats Owen Hart.
Ooh.
The NWA tag title match. New Midnight Express defeats the Rock and Roll Express. The evening gown match. Luna Vachon defeats Sable.
Oh.
WWE Tag Team title match. The New Age Outlaws defeat the Legion of Doom 2000 after a reverse call by DQ. The Inferno match. Undertaker defeats Kane. And then the main event was the WWF title. Dude Love defeated Austin by DQ. Austin retained.
97.
He says 97.
I want to say 1998.
Okay.
Unforgiven 97.
Unforgiven 97. What do you got, Alexis?
I want to say 1998.
We got 1997 Unforgiven.
That's 197 Unforgiven. You said this is what was the main event again?
Dude Love defeats Austin by DQ. Austin retains the belt.
Okay, that could be 97. It's not an In Your House. Let's do.
It could be.
It could be an In Your House. I want to say Bad Blood 98.
98 Bad Blood. So it's 1998 Unforgiven.
Oh, we got a mixture.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
We got a mixture.
Oh.
Yeah, when you said
it's 97.
So I had the right year. You had the right pay-per-view.
Yep.
Man.
Yeah, when I said, because I'm like 97, I said, once you said Dude Love, and also like, that sounds like 1998 to me.
Right.
I said 90. And then when you said Luna Vachon and Sable, I was like, yeah, that's definitely. I remember because I was like in like, I think like 6th or 7th grade. I remember that. I remember that match. The evening gown, right?
Yep.
Is that the one where? Is that the one where she's with Gold Dust and like Gold Dust covers her up with the robe?
Yeah. They're all like weird.
Yeah.
I don't know what they were.
I remember that one. I remember that one. I should. I damn. That was good though. MVP. You're on it, dude. With the pay-per-views.
Always gets the year, but he never gets the. This
not,
time we got the
not this time.
year. So, all right, you guys got anything else?
One thing I do want to talk about. What's up with Ali? You can probably check on this MVP. What's up with Ali and NXT? What's going on there?
Well, I mean, he's down there to rejuvenate, I guess.
Okay.
He does have a Money in the Bank qualifier on Monday, so.
Oh, okay. Okay, so he's not stuck down there. Okay, I was a little confused. I seen something online.
Corbin's looking to get that NXT title though.
Okay. I've always liked that end of days. That end of days looks pretty sick. So, and then my girl Tiffany Stratton with the NXT title. I like that.
Her promo this week has gone flat.
Yeah, she's she's still got to learn. That's why it's NXT. That's why it's developmental. But I did catch a little bit of NXT this week. So, but yeah. Other than that, man, I'm looking forward to Raw in a couple of days. SmackDown on Friday. So, it feels good to catch it on the day of. I've been trying to catch it on the day of ever since we started this podcast. So it's kind of giving me, rejuvenated. Say, hey, get back into it and not watch it. Sometimes I was going a few weeks without watching Raw. So, but yeah, I think we're good, man.
All right. Well, that's it. So, yeah, thank you guys for coming on, and thank everyone for tuning in and watching. If you have any comments or want to see anything we want to, do different in our podcast, let us know. We read the comments for sure. So, make sure you like and subscribe, and we'll be back next week. So, thank you, boys, for coming in.
Gem Min 10. Let's do it, baby.
All right. Bye.